This is the chapter 1 quiz lecture for microbiology. What did Thucydides learn by observing the Athenian plague? The answer is immunity. People who survived the sickness did not get it again, even when they were in close contact with others who were extremely ill. Next question. Why was the invention of the microscope important for microbiology? Scientists were able to see the unknown world of cells. It gave them an explanation of bacteria and other things that they believed were just bad juju. I love this answer. What are some ways people use microbes? Agriculture and food. Microbes are needed for the fermentation process in order to make food such as bread, beer, wine, and many other things. What is a phylogenetic tree? The organization, classification of certain organisms and species by their characteristics. Which of the 5 kingdoms in Whitaker's phylogenetic tree are prokaryotic and which are eukaryotic? Prokaryotic are the Monera eukaryotic, Protista, Animalia, fungi, and plantae. What molecule did Woese and Fox use to construct the phylogenetic tree? That would be the subunit RNA from different organisms. Name the techniques that can be used to identify and differentiate species of bacteria. Serological testing DNA, RNA. Describe the differences between bacteria and archaea. Archaea are have more complex RNA polymerases. Different membrane lipid bonding bacteria. Cell walls contain peptidoglycan. Okay, bacterial cell walls contain peptidoglycan. In archaea, the more complex RNA polymerase. Name 3 structures that various protozoa use for locomotion. Cilia, flagella, and pseudopodia, which are false feet. Describe the actual and relative size of viruses, a bacterium, and a plant cell or an animal cell. That would be viruses are 25 nanometers. The bacterium is 1 UM. Plants are and animals are 50 UM. Explain how the discovery of fermented foods likely benefited our ancestors. Well, to preserve and enhance the taste of food, use fermentation to make food like bread, cheese, and wine. What evidence should you use to support this statement? Ancient people thought that disease was transmitted by things they could not see. Quarantine of people with leprosy would stop further contamination of the population. Ancient Greeks practiced hygiene such as baths and also had a sewer system for waste. Why is using binomial nomenclature more useful than using common names? It creates less confusion, assigns each animal organism a single, unique, 2-worded name that is recognized by scientists. Label the 3 domains found on modern phylogenetic trees. That would be bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. Contrast the behavior of viruses outside versus inside a cell. Well, inside a host cell is able to co-opt the cellular mechanisms to manipulate, to multiply, and to infect other hosts. Outside, it's inert, which means it's not harmful, doesn't do anything. Outside of the host organism. It's just cool. Yay. Congratulations. This is the other one. Where'd it go? Where are you? Share. All right. Microorganisms or microbes are very small organisms. Bacteria, what type of organisms should be killed by antibiotic treatment? That would be bacteria. think, okay, let's do it this way. What is used to grow microorganisms in a lab setting? That would be growth media. Test tubes are used to grow microbes in broth, semi-solid growth media, or solid growth media. Bunsen burners are used to sterilize pieces of equipment and are being phased out in favor of infrared microincinerators. Microincinerators can sterilize pieces of equipment without safety risks of an open flame. Inoculation loops are used to treat microorganisms on agar in a petri dish or to transfer them from one test tube to another. Taxonomy is the classification, description, identification, and naming of living organisms. Microbes are very small organisms. Bacteria are types of microorganisms, more microorganisms that would be killed by antibiotic treatments. How did the discovery of microbes change human understanding? It allowed humans to understand that unseen bacteria and other microbes cause disease, which need to be handled with improved sanitation and new medical practices. What objects produce magnified images of microorganisms, human cells and tissues, and many other types of specimens too small to be observed with the naked eye? That would be microscopes. What are used to add color to microbes so they can be better observed under a microscope? That would be stains and dyes. What is made out of either plastic or glass and is used to hold growth media? That would be a petri dish. What are the evolutionary relationships? So they're called the phylogeneses. What are microorganisms that have membrane-bound nuclei in their cells? Eukaryotes. What are organisms that do not have membrane-bound nuclei in their cells? That would be prokaryotes. In modern taxonomy, how do scientists determine how closely two organisms are related? That is used by genetics from RNA found in the organism's genomes for comparison. What is the two-word naming system for identifying microorganisms by genus and species? That would be binomial nomenclature. Why is binomial nomenclature a useful tool for naming organisms? Well, because it provides a unique naming system for the process of differentiating among similar organisms. What do you call a microorganism that is not composed of cells? That's acellular, without a cell. What is found nearly in every habitat on Earth? That would be bacteria. What do you call an microorganism that causes diseases in humans and other animals? That would be a pathogen. What is one of the two prokaryotic domains with other being bacteria? That would be archaea. Bacteria and archaea, what are the two main types of prokaryotic organisms? That would be bacteria and archaea. What is one of the two prokaryotic domains other than bacteria? Okay, so the two of them are bacteria and archaea or prokaryote. Just pick one that's not bacteria, that would be archaea. Duh. Okay, what are unicellular eukaryotes that are not plants and animals? That would be protists. What are plant-like protists that can either be unicellular, multicellular? That would be algae. What are protists that make up the backbone of many foods webs by providing nutrients for other organisms? That would be protozoa. What eukaryote is not photosynthetic and its cell walls are usually made out of chitin rather than cellulose? That would be fungus. What type of fungi are made up of long filaments that form visible colonies? That would be molds. What are multicellular parasitic worms? Helminths. What are acellular organisms that consist of proteins and genetic material? That would be viruses. Are helminths microorganisms? No, ma'am. Are helminth eggs and larvae microorganisms? Yes. How are viruses different from any other microorganism? They are acellular. What is the study of different types of microorganisms? That would be microbiology. What is the study of bacteria? That would be bacteriology. What is the study of fungi? That would be mycology. What is the study of protozoa? That would be protozoology. What is the study of helminths and other parasites? That would be parasitology. What is the study of viruses? That is virology. What is the study of the immune system? That would be immune. The study of the immune system would be immunology. What of the following foods is not made up by fermentation? That would be orange juice. Who is considered the father of Western medicine? That would be Hippocrates. Who is the first to observe animalcules under the microscope? That would be Antoine van Leeuwenhoek. Who proposed that swamps might harbor tiny causing animals too small to see? Marcus Tinius Varro. Which of the following was not a kingdom in Linnaeus taxonomy? That would be the protists. Which of the following is the correct usage of the binary nomenclature? Well, it would be Homo sapiens, but with a capital. The first word is always capitalized. What scientist proposed adding a kingdom for protists? Ernest Haeckel. Haeckel? Which of the following is not a domain in Lewis-Fox phylogenetic tree? That would be Plantae. So in his tree, it would be bacteria, archaea, eukarya. Yeah. Okay. What is the standard resource for identifying bacteria? Bargie's Manual of Determinative Bacteriology. Which of the following types of microorganisms is photosynthetic? That would be algae or alga. Green. We have to think about green, people. Which of the following is a prokaryotic organism? Cyanobacterium is a prokaryotic organism because helminths are worms, so they have multi-cells. Protozoans might have multi-organisms, and mold seems to have that too. It's a bacteria, whatever. Which of the following is acellular? It's a virus. Which of the following is a type of fungal organism? Yeast. Which of the following is not subfield? It's not a subfield of microbiology. That would be botany. Thucydides is known as the father of scientific history. Researchers think that Orczy, the Iceman, may have been infected with Lyme disease. The following by which microbes turn grape into wine is called fermentation. In a binomial nomenclature, the organism's scientific name includes its genus and its species. Whitaker proposed adding the kingdoms Protozoa and Monera to his phylogenetic tree. Prokaryotes are organisms without membrane-bound nuclei. Viruses are organisms that are not included in phylogenetic trees because they are acellular. A pathogen is a disease-causing microorganism. Helminths, multicellular parasitic worms studied by microbiologists are called helminths. The study of viruses is virology. The cells of prokaryotic organisms is a lack of nucleus. The cells of prokaryotic organisms lack a nucleus. About 100 nanometers. What is the size of a typical virus? About 100 nanometers. The cells, this kills me. The cells of prokaryotic organisms lack the nucleus. What is the size of a typical bacterium? About 1 micrometer. What is the size of a typical animal cell? It's around 10 to 100 micrometers. About 1/10 of the size of a typical virus is the size of a prion. What is this? Robert Koch and Louis Pasteur discovered many connections between the fields of microbiology.